Hey guys, Constance here. So I just got done brewing an afternoon pot of coffee. It's very, very hot. And I've got laundry going in the laundry room, and I have chicken tagine going in the Instant Pot for supper tonight. So it's been a busy day already. I've been writing and editing photos and all that good stuff, and I'm about to start editing some video that I've got a whole bunch of files on my computer I need to work on. But I thought I would take just a second to talk about my kitchen renovation project. I started quite some time ago working on my kitchen, and you can see behind me I've got beautiful white cabinets with the cast iron handles. I've got my ivy shadow walls, which is a ever so subtly green white color. And slowly but surely everything's been coming together in the kitchen. I do still have to work on the ceiling, however. I'm going to be doing this faux shiplap plank treatment to the ceiling, and it's been a little bit of a wait and see project. Wait and see what the weather's going to do. Wait and see what the schedule's going to be like. And I have a friend who's going to let me borrow their table saw so that I can cut all of the planks, and I'm actually going to see what their schedule is like and watch what the weather is doing so that I can go ahead and get this wood, get it cut, and start working on my ceiling, because I really want my kitchen to be completely finished before garden season comes. Because once garden season gets here, it is going to be insanity, and I am not going to be spending too much time here in the house. My Instant Pot, my slow cooker, they will be put to use a lot when the weather starts warming up and garden season arrives. You know, a lot of times people think your slow cooker is a winter appliance, but I will tell you, I love using my slow cooker and my Instant Pot in the summer because, first of all, it's very hands-off cooking. So when you are busy and you've got a million things going, when you're working out in the garden all day long and you're not in the house, but when you do finally come in, you're exhausted, you're filthy, all you want to do is take a shower, eat, and go to bed, using your slow cooker or your Instant Pot is a lifesaver. And I use mine a ton in the summer. Plus, it's a small appliance and it's not going to heat up your kitchen. When you're standing over the stove or you've got the oven going, you're heating up your kitchen. Your slow cooker or your Instant Pot are not going to do that. So if you've not given it a thought of using those in the summertime, I highly suggest you rethink that. So as you know, I recently got this beautiful antique Hoosier cabinet that now resides in the corner of my kitchen, where I used to have a white hutch. And I've noticed that since I put that Hoosier cabinet in the corner of my kitchen, that entire end of my kitchen is visually brown. Now don't worry, I am not going to be painting that Hoosier cabinet. That's just I don't think you should do stuff like that. But I have actually started using a tablecloth on my kitchen table just to make that end of the kitchen not look so brown. I'm not a real fan of using tablecloths. I think they're kind of a pain. Having to always tidy them up, always having to wash them, and I just generally don't like using a tablecloth. So that makes for the brown Hoosier cabinet, the brown kitchen table, and then over in the other corner I have the coffee bar, my little cabinet that I got. So I don't know when I'll get to this. You know how it is with the project list. But I do think at some point now I am actually going to end up painting the coffee bar cabinet and painting it white so that it kind of matches the cabinets and everything else in here and takes away from the darkness of this end of the kitchen. And so, I mean, it's got the mirrored door fronts, which I think is fantastic, but I am going to end up painting it white. And then another thing I want to do is have a piece of durable glass cut to cover the top of that cabinet, because while it's made to sort of look like an antique and all that, it isn't. And the wood that it's made out of is really, really cheap and thin and not durable. I mean, it's like that almost balsa wood type of stuff. And so I would like to put a glass topper over that cabinet to protect it from the moisture and everything, because we do have a coffee maker sitting there, and while for the most part we're pretty careful about not making a mess, drips do happen. And I come out here in the dark in the early morning, I don't turn on any lights, and I get that first cup of coffee and I could drip something over there. Mr. Smith might drip some coffee and we may not notice it, and so by covering it like that, I think it will protect it a little bit better and make it last a little bit longer. Plus, painting it with a durable paint, I think, will help as well. So painting that cabinet is an added project that I'm putting on my list, but I'm definitely going to get working on this ceiling before too long, because like I said, I want this done before garden season arrives. But I do have one other thing that I'm still thinking about. Let me tilt the camera up here for just a second so you can see it. I have this plain Jane, not very pretty overhead light up on the ceiling. And when I tilt this up, you're going to see exactly why I'm going to be covering my ceiling. You can see right up here all of the soot that was behind the trim from the previous owner's oven fire. But it's this light right here that I want to draw to your attention. So I will be replacing this with something. This light was put up here as a temporary fix anyways. I never intended to keep it up there forever. And really it wasn't going to last forever anyways. It's an LED light. It doesn't have bulbs that can be replaced. You have to change out the whole thing when it goes. Of course, LED lights do last a long time, or at least they're supposed to, but we've already been having issues with this one. And when I go through and I do the planked wood treatment to the ceiling, I plan on changing that out. So I'm looking for something that is close to the ceiling, not necessarily totally flush with the ceiling, but close to it, just because this is an area that we walk around through, and while I do have a table underneath it, it's in a position where it may not necessarily be over that table, and so I don't want it to hang down too far. I need something that's fairly flush with the ceiling, and then I don't want it to compete too much with the other lights that are here in the kitchen. I have my wood beam chandelier that I made, and then I have that beautiful antique hobnail milk glass light that will be going here over the sink. And so I'm wanting something that still has that sort of rustic farmhouse feel, but at the same time is rather flush with the ceiling. So I'm on the hunt to try and find something that I feel will fit in with everything else here in the kitchen. So yeah, that's one of the things I've been thinking about a lot and kind of looking here and there for. So if you have seen a light like that, or if you know something I might like, leave a link down below or send me a message, tag me or whatever, and so I can see it, and maybe you guys can help me with my search for the perfect light for overhead in the kitchen.